Ringing up Christopher Browell.
40769247196. Please leave a message after the tone. When you finish recording, please hang up or press the hash key for more options.
Hello, Mr. Browell. It's Mr. Hussein here. Once again, leaving yourself another daily message like a broken record, and your persistent and consistent refusal to engage with me or speak to me or respond to me or let me know how I can have contact with my brother now that you own and control him as your private property. And that's what's happened here, doesn't it? You've taken my brother and made him your private property to dictate who he can and cannot see, where he should live, what medication he should take. Effectively, he's your private property now. And in order for me to have any contact with my biological blood relation brother, who I've been a carer for the longest, for all my life, I now need to ring you up and beg you, and that's what you want me to do, innit? Yeah, that's what you, the local authority, want me to do, is get on my hands and knees and beg you to let me see my own brother. Because why? Because you've taken him and control him and made him your private property. And why have you done that exactly? Because I was charging so much money and I was being obstinate to yourself. Is that the reason? I mean, this is my brother, for God's sake, a human being. You can't just control him and manipulate the situation for your advantage as you're presently doing. What exactly authority have you do you have? Oh, we're the local authority, so we don't need any other authority other than convincing or hoodwinking people to vote for us. For our elected representatives, or your effective representatives, or our public relations officers as councillors, and then pay our council tax to legitimize our authority, and then we can do whatever we like. We are above the law, and that's exactly what you've done here. You've kidnapped my brother from my care because you couldn't cope. You couldn't cope with the truth that I was spewing out, the fact that you had absconded with my brother's money, and this is just not now, is it? It's not a year-long issue or a 2 year. It's becoming a year now that you have kidnapped my brother. But this saga has not started right now, has it? It's been going on for more than 2 decades. Well, at least it started in 2012, when you looked to you had forgotten about my brother before 2012, and then came back and said, oh, now we need to do an audit of the direct payments, and then all of a sudden we need to remove the direct payments and we're going to provide the services ourselves. And then when you tried to provide the services through Caremark, you ended up putting my brother in a car accident, and then subsequently put me, and then that saga continued until you put me into jail, and then instructed Caremark to provide care for my brother in my absence. And then once I returned there, Caremark abandoned the place, and then you come and kidnap my brother in 2018, only for you to get Caremark to come and provide services again. You and Caremark always, or you and your own preferred service providers, because that's how it works, isn't it? It's your dominion and control, and everybody in it effectively is your private property to do with as you please, and hence why you have been targeting my brother in this manner. What are we supposed to do now? It's been over 340 days that you kidnapped my brother. I did not get to see him for until after 300 days. Now 40 days later, I've still can't see him now, and I must I ring up the care home every single day, like and you know, when I say I ring up every single day, because I ring you up every single day, and I leave a message, and every time I ring them up, they say, oh no, we've been dictated and told that you need to now send things in an email. And you've received my emails. I'm sending emails on the daily, and all being ignored, all being marginalized, all being disregarded. And I'm saying, all right, if you want emails, I can send them just as well to you, to the care manager, as everybody else, and all the councillors, because that's effectively what you're doing now. You're basically degrading and humiliating me, railroading me into doing things into what's in your best interest, not in our best interest. Also, you could save on costs and money and say savings. That's what it comes down to. It's always been about the money and the savings with yourselves. You get money from council tax, and you get money from central government, and you get money from business rates, and you get money from parking, and all that money that you get, and you justify it. You then squander it on vanity projects rather than providing support for the people that you're meant to be serving. And then what you do is you send lies and deceptions and peddle lies and deceptions, and get your tick box exercises and paperwork in order. And myself, I'm looking to challenge what you're doing, and looking to expose your failures. And as a consequence, I'm being targeted, and my brother's been victimized in this manner. Why? You know, I sent you an email yesterday at 9 o'clock to everybody, and you can quite clearly see that this is not just a a year old issue now that's just becoming that. Even say 6 years ago, you had initially kidnapped my brother when I had raised a safeguarding alert, and here we are now. You're basically denying me access to my brother because of what legal framework? Or we've told a couple of lies, and you were going to expose our neglect. So we're saying, we're just going to say, now you're neglecting him. We're just going to twist it around, and we've got the power to do so because we can buy off. We use public money to buy off the police, the courts, the judges, the barristers, the solicitors. We have the right to buy off everybody, including your own siblings, to achieve our narrative. Your narrative is fast falling apart, isn't it? Because it's been now a year, and what have you done in that year other than utilize this opportunity to dissipate my brother's money? Why is that the case? Why am I on a police bail? Why was I put on a 9-month police bail so you could forcibly put my brother into a care home and then subsequently take away my care home and put him into your care home where you have control and dominion and control, and I have to beg to see my own brother? My brother's not authorized this. You have been desperately trying to achieve your objective by saying that my brother lacks mental capacity. That's why this issue was always about mental capacity, isn't it? And you've perverted the whole institution of justice and turned it on its head.
15 seconds recording time remaining.
You've turned the whole institution of justice on its head so you can convince the world that my brother lacks mental capacity, and yet here I have recorded him. And the reality is that you have failed to do your jobs properly, and now you must desperately state that retrospectively, we did it in Talib's best interest by murdering his mother, by torturing his carer.
Your recording time has expired.
Yeah.
To leave your message, press 1.
Every single
day. To review message, press 2. Message sent. Thank you for calling. Goodbye.